Content over everything.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness, only one lady. Okay. So, the situation is this. We are in a world owned by the Rothschilds banking system. The only countries that are not under the Rothschilds' heels are Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, Syria. It used to be also Libya's Gaddafi, not anymore. Venezuela, Cuba. Those are countries that, in my opinion, they should form a strong alliance and support each other against the Rothschilds dynasty that is enslaving the world and making us indebted from birth. Now a child born today owes 40,000 pounds to the Rothschilds. This is disgusting. Slavery from birth. And that has got to change. Fortunately, the Rothschilds are caught in a dogfight for supremacy, not only with other banksters, but with the politicians. Politicians have the power of money and the obsession to be a top dog. So they have a feud. That's why Trump went to rub shoulder with Putin, because he started a feud with the Rothschild dynasty and other top dog in the administration. And obviously, he is so narcissistic that he cannot accept the role of a minor mafia boss. He wants to be the top dog as well. Now, rubbing shoulders with Putin creates a situation where he somehow is in opposition and trying his way to become a top dog, because he also has other in the administration that back him up. All the rhetoric anti-Russia, Russia's done this, Russia went here, Russia is a rogue state, is strictly the rhetoric against Trump, because Trump, in his obsession to be top dog, he would rub shoulders with anybody as long as he remains antagonistic to the Rothschilds. So I would say, to change this situation around, first of all, we have 6 or 7 countries that are not under Rothschild slavery, because they have their own national central banks. National central banks, it means they... Sorry? Can you repeat?
What's the evidence for this?
That these countries, 7 countries don't have...
Why is it that these countries that are enslaved have a far better standard of living than all the countries that you just mentioned?
No, I'm just saying there are Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, Syria, Vietnam as well, because they have a communist party in charge. Laos as well, the communist party is in charge. They have Cuba, Venezuela. They have their own national bank. They are not the slaves of Rothschild, and that's a fact. That's why now my idea is that DPRK should give his ICBM to Iran. That's the only way Iran is not the slave of these gangs of Rothschild and the American administration. And in exchange for oil, that's how the lower power is capable of defending himself through alliances. Alliances are also in politics. Why we have parties that before were opposite, were fighting each other, and now they join each other against other parties? Because if you want to stay in politics, do politics, the main agenda is alliances. Once you have alliances, you become a mighty superpower. why all of a sudden Kim wanted to use the Russian supply propellant from the missiles to have the highest ranging missile that passes the ozone layer and goes up 14,000 miles above the ozone layer using the Russian supplied propellant. Because his idea was, if I have a self-defense system, I will not be invaded like it happened to Gaddafi. When was Gaddafi invaded? When he gave up his nuclear program. Soon after he gave up the nuclear program, he was invaded and killed like a dog. So that was a really disgusting thing to witness for humanity. You are defenseless and you get killed like a dog. So the idea was self-defense. But now, because Kim was acting fearlessly, didn't have any fear, because Trump kept on saying, we invade you and we will wipe up North Korea. Why? They had all this big, loud barking to invade North Korea, because they want to show to the world that, and to intimidate Kim to give up the ICBM. Kim never gave up any ICBM. Actually, remember this, when you behave bravely, bravery never fails humanity. Remember that. If you are brave, you will be always respected. So much so that South Korea invited North Korea to the Winter Olympic, because they say, my goodness, this guy has balls. We have to respect such a minor power that can defend itself. And the same are doing in African countries. Now, African countries, I go in Africa regularly, but I know for sure that the whole of Africa is 40 to 50% Africans are in favor of China going and helping them to develop. And the influence that used to be of UK and US is dwindling by the minute. The reason is this, because Africa actually has been the only continent that has been able to fairly well defend itself. You know, not only because of Mugabe, Mabuto, or Idi Amin, but in fact has never allowed too much penetration by the Americans. Unfortunately, they have allowed the English to penetrate, because the English, being an old colonialist power, has brainwashed them into making them believe that they were far better off under the English than under their local corrupt leaders, elite, whatever. But in fact, now Africa is in a position that have understood the trick. You know, I go to Africa a lot. I know the mentality. I'm a friend of the Ministry of Defense of French Guinea. And I tell you, the African mentality is quite a bit the same. It's not fragmented, that Europeans are more into fighting each other and they don't like each other. They are more into nationalism. Africans are more homogeneous. They have always the general that go on top and then they get kicked out. Sorry?
I wish I can agree with you, because Africa today, I think our problem is we think like Europeans. We do it everything like Europeans.
Yes.
And we are nowhere near, we are even doing it worse than the Europeans. Say, my country, if you go there today.
What country is that?
Gambia.
Yes.
Yes, I don't know if you've been there.
No, Gambia,
right. But
no.
if you go to Gambia today, you look at the youths on the street, the public, you go into our shops, the foods that are there, the products that are in our shops, the clothes we wear, the
All
foods we
Europeans.
eat, is all European.
Yeah.
Right. Now China, that is going there now, giving us millions of of pounds or dollars, building factories for us, bridges, but we are going to go and pay back these monies again. This is what is happening to some countries. They build your airport.
They're not even employing most African people.
But they will even
they
come
bring
back
Chinese
and take the factories they build, the airports they build, and the seaports they build. They will come and take it.
Yeah, that is still a development for the country. To have infrastructure is the first base to grow for the country. How can a country grow when there are no good transportation, no airports, no infrastructure? You must have the infrastructure. Therefore, those who let the Chinese in is not the average John or whatever, Abdullah. What is Muslim? Your country is Muslim or what? Christian? Well,
90%.
I tell you what's happened in African Muslim countries. You have a situation whereby the Muslim children of the elite, would never go to a Muslim school, they go to Christian schools. They betray their roots because when they go to a Catholic school, they stand far more chances of becoming somebody or entering into upscale mobility than if they go to a Muslim school, you see. So obviously the tribalism mentality is still there. But all in all, the Africans are also, even if they are elite, they are still very nationalistic. You know, it's not that they are a typical sellout that all of a sudden join hotels the American move in. They are still very cautious about with whom they make alliances. So what you say that the Africans, Muslim or whatever religion, they are letting all this merchandise from Europe, because merchandise from Europe is status quo. If you live in a community that is tribalistic, like as if you live in a small village, you would be more respected by the, lack of self-confidence mentality if you wear a Nike or a Adidas or whatever Western junk there is, or if you have watched the latest American movies, then if you stick to mambo jumbo dance, you know.
Excuse me, can I, my friend wants to speak on this ladder, is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay. Anyway.
Can you do it now?
No, I can. Come here.
Thank you very much. Do you need
It's
a hand
okay.
coming down? Or?
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for listening.
Thank
I
you.
gave you a vision of what is going on exactly at this moment. I don't worry about yesterday or tomorrow. This is the moment we have to analyze to make a breakthrough for the youth, unemployed, and the poor people all over the world that they are struggling. Take the money from the rich, and where do you give that money? Tell me, where do you give the money that you steal, that you take from the rich? Where you give? To whom would you give the money? You do. The question is for everybody. To whom would you give the money that you take from the rich?
Okay, I think he wants to speak now.
And wait a second.
Jimmy.
I wanted an answer. To whom do you give the money you take from the rich?
Well, Robin Hood had the answer, didn't he? Robin Hood had the answer.
Yeah.
Robin Hood, he took
Exactly.
from the rich to
Give to
the
the poorest,
But he forgot one
to
thing.
the most
He kept putting the
destitute.
taxes up, and the
Once you
sheriff's still
give to
after
the
him.
poorest and to the
Hey.
most
Oh,
destitute,
bless her.
you will have, as benefit of our first world, we will have less epidemics, less Ebola, less AIDS, less diseases, because poverty is the breeder of disease, death, and suffering. That's why. Give the money of the Rothschilds, which are the richest, of the Queen, to the poorest and the most destitute, and we will have a much safer world.
Sorry, Eleonora, sorry.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Do you need a hand getting
What's
down?
your name?
Jamie, so Jamie's going to speak.
Carl. What's your name?
Oh, Nick. Oh, you're
No, just
Hi,
take
Sean.
it.
I'm sorry. I
That's
didn't know
okay.
it was yours.
Come on,
Yeah, it's okay.
bring your ladder over and speak.
Hey, Carl.
We want to hear what...
No, call Farron. Tell me what's her name.
What's your name? Tell me your name.
What's your name?
My name is Elisa. Daidone's her name. I'm from Italy. Now in Italy we have lots of riots and a lot of protests because there are the elections and the communists absolutely don't want to have anything to do with the fascists. They don't want the fascists in power. That's why we are politicized. We had enough of Mussolini and all the fascist scum of the world.
And Berlusconi.
Jamie,
Wow. I don't know how.
what do you have to say to what Elisa just said?
I don't know how I'm going to follow that. I think I might actually make this whole crowd disperse.
No, just speak your mind.
You have a good, strong voice.
Speak your
Much
mind.
better than my voice.
Yeah. No. Well, you sort of spoke, and you get the crowd, and it's all on camera, so it's sort of go well.
What do you think about redistribution as well?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think we need it. I think we need it in this current times. Yeah.
And how exactly? What's your vision of redistribution?
We all get round and we all talk with each other. It's going to obviously have to be legislated, government-backed ideas. Fiddling with the tax, getting multiple countries together to say no more tax havens. Come on, look, let's all pay our fair share. Don't we already know that Apple, Amazon, big companies are already cheating us, yeah? So let's start there. They're cheating us. I was speaking to a previous person that said, no, we can't have regulation. I actually forgot to mention there are some people that are openly cheating us. And we need to just walk around declaring they're openly cheating us. Why? That's just a fact. That is just a nature. That is the nature of the system. As soon as someone starts saying, oh no, but you can't overregulate, diminish it. No, they're openly cheating us. If it's 20%, it's 20%. You've got to pay your 20%. If they're not paying their 20%, they're cheating us. And that should just be repeated and repeated and repeated. That should be in the consciousness, which it is. So then surely we should move on to why is it not happening? Why is it not happening?
Mostly the youth, are resisting. And the youth unfortunately don't have much power. They are not in the parliament. They are...
When I put out this video, when this video comes out, yeah. When this video comes out, are people going to type in the comments and say, what's this guy on about? What's he talking about? What an idiot. What would they say? I actually open them to come and challenge me because I'm open for my ideas to change. I'm literally a detective in this universe trying to think of how to live a good life. And I think this is what I've come to. Yes, that's what I've come to. Let's all make it together in this
What is
world.
the good life? What is the good life?
The good life. The good life. It's sort of like living well, working for your need. It's very complex, isn't it? Obviously so. Being decent to each other. Basically just it's incredibly different. Being
It's about how we
virtuous.
relate to other people, not about what things we have, things,
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, of course, most certainly. How we feel. I think maybe if we studied individuals, we would learn.
You go there, you see all desert.
Yeah, that's it. I was going to get.
Chinese arrive, a whole big town.
Yeah,
Why don't we have it to begin with?
Went there.
Divided us from seeing that we're all the same as living in the same earth.
Yeah, I would say, I think I was going to get to that. I said, if we studied a human and sort of just what made a human happy over the course of its life, I think we would find common themes like relationship status, I don't mean relationships, I mean how they interact with their fellow humans. That would be a key thing of how they're happy. Then maybe like status, love.
There's so many people in the world, all of us can sustain one another.
Yeah.
Everyone do their part.
Cooperation, working together.
Yeah.
But our school system doesn't train us for this.
Yeah,
It teaches us to be.
it doesn't train. We're not trained to love one another. We're trained to friendship between each other.
I would.
I don't like this because it's not like that.
I wouldn't be too fast to get a target and try and aim at the target. I think just observe your own life and see what you see in your own life.
I observe and I'm noticing it's fucking love.
Yeah, no, I'll
At the
agree.
end of the day, it just comes down to love.
I'll agree with you. There are attributes within love that are like sort of helping other people, caring for other people, giving for other people, looking after for other people, and that is all very good. But like when you talk about schooling, we don't educate our kids correctly. That's a bit too grand. You should look at like your own life and look. Well,
No, education is vast. Like, knowledge
Yeah.
is vast. There's certain things like you don't have to learn, and there's certain things you should learn. You know, and I think like they keep it like
Called it,
they're
didn't
not
I?
telling us enough. We're not learning enough. They keep you're ignorant of a lot of shit. That's how I see it.
Called it. I knew I'd disperse the crowd.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Give me a smaller discussion. Do you want to get a piece of power from the power show? It's okay. No one here is professional.
I'd be willing to get down if you want to get up. Sure.
You've got an audience. That's the hard part.
Fair enough.
What are you doing right now?
Okay,
Okay, fair enough. I didn't speak my mind.
because I just been like listening to their conversation.
Like bread.
Slave people outside
Content over everything. Content over everything. From your melody.
Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
I want you to promise me,
Yes.
if anyone come here to disturb the discussion, you shut him off. You tell him, please, I'll talk to you after 1 hour or half an hour or whatever. Yes?
Right.
So the whole idea is not confrontation.
Right.
Yes?
That's fair.
And I think I clear myself because Michael, I got like